Hey, Tony Gassins here. Nah, y'all got to forgive me, I'm driving. Headed to get me a haircut on this beautiful Sunday, but had to do a little overtime with my barber. So, paying $200 for this haircut just because I got a film tomorrow with one of my NFL clients, and we start at 10 a.m. and my barber don't really start working till 9 on Mondays, sometimes 11. So gotta do what you gotta do. But wanted to talk to you on this here December 1st, embracing self-love. And this is a part of what we was talking about as we're getting ready to go into 2025. I'm gonna be touching on some self-love and self-development topics throughout the month of December. So mark your calendars to check in every day this month and get your daily dose of inspiration throughout this month so that you can roll into your new year. And then as for, if you want to support the academy, then you can sign up for the January course, which will get you through January, which I'll release that here soon, probably this week, probably tomorrow night I may release that for sign up and to get you through January. But the December, that'll be on here on YouTube, free of charge. And so this lady here look like she play a little basketball. When you think of embracing self-love, a lot of times people get that confused, and some people will say that is the antithesis of Christ, and that is not true, because the Bible says to love your neighbor as you love yourself. It does not say to love your neighbor instead of yourself. It does not say to love your neighbor in place of yourself. It says to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So that needs to be understood. The other thing that needs to be understood about embracing self-love is not just self-pampering. A lot of times that is a part of it, but a lot of times we minimize and reduce self-love to getting your hair done, your nails done, your massages. That's all part of it. But when you embrace self-love, this is also how you talk to yourself. This is also what we'll talk about this month as well, the boundaries that you set, how you eat, how you sleep, how you work out. All of those things are a part of embracing self-love. And specifically to embracing self-love in the holidays, in this holiday season, you want to apply that and make sure that you are taking care of yourself and you preparing yourself for what you're getting ready to do. So as you are embracing self-love, what I like to do is create acronyms. So I want to challenge you to, after this video, to sit down and see if you could create an acronym for either embrace or self-love or love. So for example, if we were to create an acronym for love, the L could be for leadership. The O could be for ownership, accepting responsibility. Or it could be ownership, like you want to buy a house, you want to own something. But I use ownership about accepting ownership for your life. The V could be for volunteer, or it could be for victory. And the E could be for education, self-education, what have you. It could be for evolve. It could be for earn. So create your own acronym for whatever word it is that you have. Like, if your word is growth, if your word is love, if your word is fasting, whatever your word is, that you're gonna make your word of 2025, or your slogan or your phrase. Really sit down and start to craft this, and this is how you become your own life coach. This is how you start to raise yourself, re-raise yourself. You've already been raised by your parents. Now you got to re-raise yourself. And you set the correct standards and boundaries and lessons for your life, because what a lot of times we fail to realize is that growing up, we could have learned things the wrong way. And we don't understand that we could have learned things the wrong way. And we never unlearn and then relearn. And your self-love could be thrown off kilter because whoever raised you, your mother or your father, did not love themselves. So therefore, self-love was not instilled in you. So there are some parents who, and you should be this parent, but there are some parents who instill self-love practices in their children's life. It may be like, hey, girls, from 9 p.m. to 9:15 is going to be journaling time going forward. You're going to write in your journal, and it's not going to be you're not writing just about fears and what you don't like. You writing what you're grateful for and what you want to work on in yourself. And we're going to sit at the kitchen table and we're going to journal for 15 straight minutes. And if you want to go a little longer, you could go a little longer, but we don't want to go too long because we're going to do this every day for 15 minutes. And so that's something you could instill. And so if you didn't have that, if self-love, if it was like, if your life was more so about tough love, sacrifice, struggle, rough side, climbing the rough side of the mountain, wading in the water, then you have to unlearn and relearn. So when you start to embrace self-love, you come to a place to where you set boundaries. You have your personal bylaws. So you could Google bylaws, and you have your personal bylaws. If you haven't taken the courses on TonyGassAcademy.com, then this could help you. And you Google bylaws, write your own personal bylaws. Write your own policies and procedures. And this is also self-love, taking out time for yourself. So if you were to see yourself like a brand, like a corporation, that means you would take out 30 minutes to an hour or more every day to develop your brand and your corporation. Meaning you will be writing out how, so this is where you develop. This is where you discover. See, in your policies, one of your policies may be always tell the truth. That's your policy. Now your procedure may be build a relationship before telling the truth. Or your procedure may be, when I need to tell the truth, let me reach out and schedule a time to talk to my friend or family member, and let me talk to them for up to an hour about this situation. That may be one of your procedures. But you develop this, so now you get to spend time with the Holy Spirit, and you sitting there and you consulting the Spirit, and you are figuring out, okay, this is how I want to handle conflict. This is how I want to handle work conflict. This is how I want to handle family conflict. This is how I want to handle intimate spouse conflict. So now you develop your policies and your procedures. What are your visitation hours? What's your phone hours? We're going to talk about this tomorrow, Lord willing, on setting boundaries. So a lot of this stuff will be reiterated, but when it's reiterated, that's what lets you know it's important. So don't expect no fresh rhema word every day, because some things it's principle based. So it all ties in together. That's why when you read the Bible, the same scripture is said, the same thing is said several times throughout the Bible, because principles are principles. You can't really get around principles. It's not that many principles to life, because principles are very simple. It's very simple. And a lot of times people get that confused, and they want life to be rocket science. Life is easier than rocket science. If you could learn rocket science, then life is easy. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. Y'all got to forgive me. I had just got out the shower and got my face lotion. Got my face lotion on. Y'all got to forgive me. Up here driving and got my face lotion. And these cars, and this car trying to get over, it's like, sir, take that blank off now, because you ain't gonna be able to get over. And so I want you to think about this and really start the process. Really start the process. Really start to get this in your spirit and come into terms of, okay, what does self-love, what does embracing self-love for me look like? Because see, sometimes what we forget is we forget that our interactions in life should be a win-win. Sometimes it's a lose-win. Sometimes you have a situation where it's a lose-win, and you taking you got the short end of the stick. Sometimes that's the case. But the thing about it is if you love your neighbor as you love yourself, that means you want for them what you want for you. And make sure you get over there on Louder Than Words show and get to watch that December 1st episode, because we talk a little bit about that on there as well. And so once you start to come to terms and you start to get this together, that's when you start to really love yourself in a healthy way. And so here's the thing. This is what I want you to ask yourself. Am I feeding myself correctly? And the way that you do this is you think about somebody else. Because see, we don't truly love ourselves as we love our neighbor. What we do is we'll love our neighbor instead of ourselves. So you have to think about somebody else. So let's do this practice. If I say to you, Lisa, Brenda, John, if I say to you, hey, I'm gonna send my loved one to you for the month of December, putting them on the plane today, they flying in today, and I want them to stay with you for the month of December. How you gonna, and mind you, let's envision that you have the room for them, you have the money for them. How are you going to make up their bed? What you gonna do? Go to Target, go to Walmart, get new sheets. If you need to wash them, you're gonna go to the laundromat. If you ain't got wash and dry at the house, and you're gonna wash them. And then you're gonna put them on the bed. Why? Because a guest coming over. Treat yourself like a guest. Why are you sleeping on dirty sheets? Why are you sleeping on old sheets? So that's what you're gonna do. What you're gonna do? Clean the bathtub, clean the toilet, clean the baseboards. Because a guest coming over, and you know everything they see, everything they experience, they're gonna be telling me, yeah, the toilet was dirty. Yeah, the baseboards look a mess. Yeah. Treat yourself like a guest. That's embracing self-love. Now, how you gonna feed my loved one? Are you finna just feed my loved one microwavable food? You about to get, now remember, you got the money. How you gonna feed? You're gonna do, what you gonna do? Whole foods. You're gonna do whole food. You're not gonna do processed food because you got a guest. You want the guest to be nourished. And then how are you going to, this loved one under 18, I want you to develop them. I want you to develop their character. I want you to develop their mind, regenerate their brain. I want them to be fully nourished, sleep well, eat well, drink well. What's going to be the main liquid you tell them to consume? Diet Coke, lemonade, sweet tea, Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or water. What's going to be the main thing? Now, you might say, oh, you know, Tony too strict on you, so I'm going to let you have Coke on Fridays. But throughout the day, mainly water. If you want a little bit of flavor in it, put this little packet in there. You know, it's healthier, flavor your water, but just mainly water. That's going to help, because that's going to help your skin. So when Tony see you on January 1st, December 31st, for us to bring in the new year, your skin gonna look good. What kind of self-care routine you gonna give my loved one that I'll send it to your house? You gonna tell them don't brush your teeth, don't wash your face, don't shower? What you gonna say? How you gonna feed them? You gonna tell them eat all day long? Anything you want, eat all the cookies, all the sugar, everything, and try to put on weight? Or you gonna tell them eat a good portion, eat 3 meals a day, eat clean food, eat healthy food, eat good, nourishing, flavorful food now, but it ain't processed food and all that. And we could do fast food on the weekend, but we can't do a whole bunch, because we got to keep your physique, cause Tony coming on December 31st. So see, you have to picture like it's what you would do for somebody else. That's what you got to do for yourself. And see what we do, and moms are most guilty of this. Moms will take and only do for their children. And then they'll say, well, I'm too tired to do for me, so I'm going to put on all kind of weight. I'm going to not sleep. I'm going to not do my nails. I'm going to not do my hair. I'm going to not take care of me, but I'm going to take care of the kids. But not realizing is you can't pour from an empty vessel. So while you think you taking care of your kids, you actually making them feel unrightfully privileged, because they don't know how to accept what you're doing for them, because you're doing it without a smile, and you're doing it frustrated, and you're doing it rude and mean and tired, because you're not carving out time for you. So you're looking at the video, and instead of painting your nails, clipping your nails and painting your nails while you listening to the video, you looking me in the face trying to see my blemishes and trying to see what I'm looking at, what I got going on, when all you need to do is hear my voice. You don't even need to be looking at the video, because you can take and just hear my voice. You trying to see me. It's like, what you looking at me for? That ain't got nothing to do with the video. I dropped my phone. They ain't got nothing to do with the video. The video's still going. Y'all got to forgive me. And so now, is that my son thing? Yeah, that's his paper. Y'all got to forgive me, because I got to get over here. I had to take this way. What time? I got 19 minutes to be to the barbershop. I got to stop by the bank, get that 200 out. And listen, I offer my barber this. He ain't charged me this. But again, remember, when you embrace self-love and you love yourself, you know how to love somebody else. So this is what I think. I'm a married man. He's a married man. I'm a family man. He's a family man. I want to take care of my family, provide for my family. He want to take care of his family, provide for his family. I want to serve my clients. He want to serve his clients. I want to be there and in the clutch when my clients need me. He want to be there in the clutch when his clients need him. I want to go the extra mile for my clients. He want to go the extra mile for his clients. If I'm going to get out of bed, or no, get out of church and go into the office to work for my client, I want my client to show me that he or she appreciates me and respects that I am coming to work on my day off that I spend with my family. And here's how I base my offer is, he told me some years back, it has changed now probably, but he told me some years back that his goal is to make $100 a day, a minimum of $100 a day, and anything on top of that, that's a blessing, that's a bonus, that's good. But he need to make $100 a day. He works 6 days a week, almost 5 to 6 days a week. So that's not a whole lot of money. So that's why I offered him $200, because this will be a full day's work. Even if his income has gone up to where he had $200 a day, for one haircut on the day off, it'll be a full day's work, and it'll make up for a slow day, which is typically Mondays be slow. Sometimes he has 0 haircuts on Mondays. And so that'll make up for that. Also, it's the first of the month. Get up, wake up. So it's the first of the month. Guess what's due today? Rent. Who knows? How do I know? Like, guess what? He pays the mortgage or the rent, and I know that's gonna be in our area a minimum of $1,100, but it's probably around $1,400-$1,500. So now if he had to put all of that out today, boom, here go $200 cash, moolah doula. That's gonna up him. That's gonna put something back into his pocket. For a 20-minute haircut, he take his time, he take 45. So boom, there you go. So I say that to say, when you embrace self-love, and you know how you want to be valued, you know how you want to be treated, you know how you want to be handled and taken care of and dealt with, then that helps you frame how to deal and take care of others. Y'all be careful for these insurance frauds, especially if you drive like a newer car or a decent looking car, because it's a lot of people that they try to jump in front of you, cut you off, and then slam on brakes, because you know if you hit somebody in the back, you at fault. And it's just they word versus yours if ain't no camera there. So somebody just did that to me. Now they done got back out of my lane and got back over. It's like, why did you get over here in the first place? But people be trying to do that insurance fraud. And so now when you embrace self-love, it helps you to be able to know how to love your neighbor. So, and now, yes, could I pay him $500? Yeah. Could I pay him $1,000? Yeah. Is it necessary? No. Because what it does is it will set the bar. So the next time I need a haircut, he may be expecting that 500 or that 1,000, and it's always hard to go down than it is to go up. It's always hard to go down. A lot of people don't realize that it is hard to go down. It's kind of like when you fly first class, and the next time, I want you to treat yourself in 2025. If you've never flown first class, book a first class flight on Delta, because Delta got the nicest first class. Book a first class flight on Delta. And I want you to just fly 1 hour. Just fly to the next city over. And if you can only afford one way, fly to the next city that's like an hour away, and then rent a car from National. Go on National and create an account and rent from National. And you're gonna rent from National, and when you rent from National, because they got an app, you download the app and you rent from National because they got the best prices. And then after you rent one time, National got it to where you just walk out and pick the car you want to drive. A lot of other ones doing that too, but I like National. And on National, you can have up to 9 drivers. So you actually could make it a little group trip if you got a friend that want to go with you. And both of y'all could drive, no issue. And so you go to National, and then drive back. If you can afford, if you book it like a month out from now, then you could get it for cheap. The round trip might be $300 to $600. And so do this right here, and I want you to feel this now, because what's gonna happen is when you fly in that first class, it's going to be extremely hard the next time you get on a plane. And then I want you, after flying on first class, the next time you get a check, I want you to take and now this car just slammed on brakes, and his butt done whipped in here so fast. Like, sir, why are you driving that fast? That you whipping in here? It's almost like he seen me pull out that cash and decided he finna whip his butt in here. He driving faster than a mud. And then look, he got his homeboy. His homeboy ain't even going to the doggone ATM. What your butt doing? See, y'all trying to rob. It's like, oh, he just got out and stood there and just thinking. Now he realize he ain't got a dime to get out that ATM. So now the next time I want you to fly basic economy. And when you get in that basic economy and you feel that person beside you and they stink, sometimes they leaning over on your chair, taking up your chair. You can't stretch your knees touching the back of the chair in front of you unless you 4'11" to 5'4". Your knees touching the back of the chair in front of you. The person in front of you leaning back on you. It's 3 or 4 of y'all all there together. It feels so different than first class. And when you get that first class experience and then you get that coach experience after first class, you're going to say, I need to figure out a way to earn more money. I need to get on my grind, on my side hustle, and I need to crank my grind up to earn more money so that anytime I have to fly, I can afford first class. easily. Lord. God bless them. God bless them. Lord. Whoo, Lord. That give you something to be thankful for. My goodness. I ain't got that kind of change, sister. I don't know what you do with them hands out here with that fruit. That's the thing. They selling that chopped up fruit out from out their house, but it's like, sister, I really don't know what all you got into at that house. I sure want to support now, sister, but I really don't know what you was out here doing with them hands. See, what I do is I just give them the money and just, I'm not hungry. Here go the money. And so that brother back there. He was really he walking with a peaceful countenance on him, but that blanket he had wrapped around him and whatever else he had, it don't look like he had no clothes on. Now he had that blanket wrapped very interesting, like an Indian person wear a sari, or like how people in Africa wrap their certain garments around him. He had it wrapped kind of like that. Oh, real dingy blanket. He homeless. And I mean, his hands were so black and he looked like oil, like oily or dirty. And that just is like, Lord bless him. You got to count your blessings. And see, that's the thing, is like that brother there, I could, because he been out here baking in the sun and all the elements, he could be done lose his mind. So I could go to him and say, hey sir, you want to get a motel? And I could put him in the motel, and he might not even want to stay in the motel. He may leave the motel and go sleep outside because he done got accustomed to that lifestyle. And he may get in the motel and he's stealing the paint off the wall. He taking the paint off the wall, talking about he finna go sell it. You know, or he's stealing a blanket and he steal a blanket and go sleep somewhere outside because he done been conditioned to it. See, that's what I want you to understand about self-love is the mind. You teach your mind what you deserve. You teach your mind. It's just like when I was watching the show and they said, you know, we got an apartment for you. You know, we got a job. We found a job for you. And she said, no, I can't get no job. They said the job gonna pay you $250 a week. She said, no, I can't get no job because if I get a job, I'm not gonna get my $75 a month check from the government. He said the job is going to pay you $250 a week. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. No, because if I take that job, I'm not going to get my check. And if I don't get my check, because I could take that job and then get fired. Now my check gone. Now I got to try to get back in to get that check. They might not approve me. No, I ain't doing that. So she wouldn't give up the little to get a lot because she had got so accustomed to being on government assistance. So I say that to say, what is these grown men doing on these motorized bicycles, riding through the street like little boys? These men got to be 40. It's just 3 guys dressed like thugs, riding through. Look at God. I had enough time to leave, get off on the long exit, stop, get the $200, and still make it to my appointment 5 minutes early. Praise the Lord. So I want you to think about that. And so that's one. And look, where the state of my hair and my beard, I could have made it through and went on ahead and did my film shoot tomorrow. But I say, you know what? I'm gonna just get extra clean just to go on ahead and be a blessing to my barber. And he's standing out here waiting on me. So even though I'm 5 minutes early, I'm gonna go on ahead and get on in here. And but hey, God bless you. Embrace self-love. Treat yourself better. Wash your sheets. Feed your body right. Exercise right. Love yourself. Pay yourself first. Take care of yourself. And we going up on this channel. We ain't like the rest of these channels that's just gossip and all of that. We going up. We changing our life. Everybody becoming a millionaire. God bless you.